Hello, everyone. It's Benjamin Sanchez. I'm here with another edition of Legal Grounds Live. I'm going to wait for a few people to get on, but I wanted to let you all know exactly what I do. So, what I do is I help empower and represent people with everyday problems such as consumer law and family law. And those are the things that I will mainly be discussing throughout my legal topics when I do these live videos. Some of you who have seen me before know that I was doing these on a regular basis before. I ended up having to move offices, and so I am in my new office and I'm ready to get back started on doing these daily videos. I've been doing a lot of consultations by telephone lately, and I'm seeing a lot of the same things being asked of me. And so I thought I would spend these next 12 days of Christmas, starting today and ending on Christmas, discussing some of the familiar topics that I'm seeing over and over again. Those are both consumer topics and family law topics. So for today's video, I want to briefly discuss enforcement actions. And this is in the family law context. Now, there are people who give entire CLEs and legal education seminars on this topic alone. So I'm definitely not here to discuss all the ins and outs. But there's one thing that I've seen over and over again that people need to understand before they think about doing an enforcement action because the other side, the other parent, is not doing something correctly. And that is this: first and foremost, you must exercise the right that you have. You must attempt to exercise that right and then put the other person at a position to violate the order. And it sounds simple, but what I mean is this. I've had lots of people call me over the past month that tell me they want to enforce their custody order or their divorce decree. And when we get to discussing the specifics, what I learn is that the other side has made them insecure or has made this potential client afraid to do anything. And so, for example, the parent doesn't go to the other parent's house to pick up the child. Well, in the family law context, when you file a motion for enforcement, you have to be specific in your pleadings. And that means that you have to be able to say what part of the order was violated and then specifically how it was violated. So, for example, if you're entitled to a weekend possession that starts Friday night at 6 p.m., but the other parent has made you afraid or threatened you about don't come over because you won't they're not going to let you see the child. You as a parent that wants to pick up your child, you can't be defeated and just say, okay, well, he's told me I'm not going to be able to get my child. No, in order to do the enforcement, you actually have to go over to that parent's house at 6 p.m. and try to enforce the order. You have to attempt to do your part to enforce the order. Now, of course, if there are safety reasons, you may end up having to call the police to be a part of this. Sometimes they'll come, sometimes they won't. But what you can't do is go to court asking the court to enforce your weekend possessions when you haven't actually tried to exercise them pursuant to the order. So that is my big takeaway for day one of the 12 days of Christmas. This is regarding enforcement. You cannot enforce, you can't file an enforcement action for a violation when you haven't attempted to do the actual thing that you want to enforce. Again, you must try to do the thing you want to enforce and make the other side not do what they're supposed to do. I will come back tomorrow with day 2 on a different topic. I hope this has been helpful. I know it's brief, but this is the number one thing I'm seeing regarding enforcements. We have holidays coming up, we have possession periods coming up, and if you want your child for a holiday and the other side has told you don't bother, you need to still bother. You still need to try to go over and pick up the child or meet at the public place that the court order says. Again, an enforcement is no good without the actual violation of the specific order. So do what you got to do. If you got any problems, give me a call, 713-780-7745. I do telephone consultations day in and day out for free, and I can talk to you about your specific problem. But again, I hear from people over and over again about enforcements, and I have to tell them over and over again, you have to try to enforce it. So you have to do the thing you're supposed to do and force the other side to not do the thing they're supposed to do. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye bye.